What does it mean and what's it like to be a full-time artist? Deb's a veteran oil painter who's developed a career in art over the course of her life. She'll discuss the ins and outs of her art and what it's like to be a full-time creative.
Why oil painting?
And what does it mean?
I would say I didn't start with oil painting. I started with a lot of drawing when I was younger, and then that progressed into watercolour painting. So really, probably for about 15 years, I was painting in watercolour, and that was great. It suited my lifestyle at the time. I had 3 young children, and so being able to just leave the medium, go and do something with the kids, hang out a load of wash, come back, do something in the studio. It meant it was a more practical medium for me to use. Then in the middle of my degree, I also went to Holland, which is where my roots are. My parents were both born in Holland. So to see the richness of oil painting over centuries of art, it just it's obviously it's the medium of choice, I suppose, if you're looking at a traditional representational painting. So so I started with it, and it's alchemy, and I'm still nowhere near understanding it, but it's a journey. Yes, I do often wonder if I was to choose a real job. I guess society sometimes looks at art practice as possibly not a real job. I consider it to be a very, very, very real job, and I'm very, very serious about what I do. But there are times, and usually it comes at the end of a big project where you're sort of semi-exhausted, and you think, why am I doing this? Because if I worked as hard as this, for as long as this, with the qualifications I have in any other industry, I would probably be well compensated for what I've done. And sadly, that's not always the case in the arts. I love what I do. I'm living the dream. I get up in the morning and I do what I love. And, semi-occasionally people pay me for it.
So Deb, do you have any advice for young artists?
Yeah, I'd say you have to work very hard, and you have to work for a long time. So it's not unlike reality television. It's not 0 to hero in 25 minutes, including commercials. It's actually a marathon, long-term career where you're working for 30, 50 years plus. And so I think you have to get it in your head that you're working at your craft, and you have to be really serious about your craft, and you have to get better at it. So you're always honing that, and taking any opportunities you can. So you sort of don't wait until opportunities come to you. You have to go out looking for them. So that, for me as an artist, that means I put my work into competitions and shows. It's not something you're always comfortable doing, but if you do make it to a shortlist and you get hung in a show, then people like curators and collectors are seeing your work. General public are seeing your work. So it's a way of communicating, with a wider audience. If you just sit in your studio, which is really very tempting, and stay, just doing your thing in your studio, it may be great, but you're not actually you're not in conversation with anybody. And if you're serious about your art practice, you would want to be in conversation with the rest of the world. So I'd say, working hard. I work probably 5 to 6 days a week, probably sort of at least 8 to 10 hours a day. So the artistic journey is a long one. It's not something you can do in a sprint. You can't imagine that you're going to produce a great body of work in a short amount of time. It's a long journey, but it's a good journey.